All right, let's do a little game. I want to take you all back to when you're preschoolers. One of these things just doesn't belong here. Remember that little song, those little games about mix and matching? I'm going to show you this aerial shot of where we are, right? And I want you to notice a couple things. Notice the beach right there. Notice Johns Pass Village right here, where 4 million people come to play. Notice this is the first canal in from the Gulf of Mexico, which means it's abundant with dolphins and manatees and all kinds of cool boating. Notice the sandbar sitting right here. Notice the way of life. You're 5 minutes, your toes are in the sand. You're sitting there. It's a beautiful, beautiful house. This house was built a couple years ago, and a little pre-pandemic, just about the time of the pandemic, actually just right after the pandemic. And it sold, and my family lives in there right now. And then I want you to just look immediately next door to it. Now, I won't back up. And I'm gonna drive forward. Now, a couple problems with this one. Yeah. Number one, I'll say it even though it's not popular. Aesthetics suck, right? It is not a pretty piece of property. They're just not. There's nothing I can really say about this piece, except for the locations that we just talked about. Now, what's the problem with this one? Number one, it's absolutely way past its functional use, right? Its functional life. It's built in the early 50s, late 40s. It's wooden house on the water. It's structurally not there. It's not designed. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, right? Small little place that just functionally is not what people want in today's one. That green one we just talked to, that's what people are wanting here. So a couple other problems here. Number one, ground level. I don't know if you can notice, but we're right at the beach. We're right on the water. We're at a hurricane risk because we live in Florida. We're on the water. What happens ground level in Florida? If you get hit with a storm, not good. Does FEMA want this here? No. Does the city want this here? No. Does the state of Florida want this here? No. Do the new buyers want this here? No. Right? So everything's stacked against it going forward on it. So then you look at this sign, because we happen to bought this little house, and it's going to turn into this. So what we're building here instead is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, new dock. It's got a new seawall, about a 3,000 square foot house, rooftop deck, throwing a pool in there, and it's going to be elevated higher than what it is right now, right? So the first level of the garage is going to be higher than the first level of this whole house, right? And then it's going to have a level on top of that, and a level on top of that, and then a level on top of that. Why? And then that'll sell for, $2.7 million, somewhere in that price point. And the city is going to get such a significant lift in tax revenue. The money will be sitting there when the city wants to do some more landscaping, do more beautification projects, not raise the taxes on everybody else down the street. Now, there are some really cute older homes that are ground level, and they're beautiful and they're perfect. This just ain't one of them. Right? So you can say, oh, you're tearing down charm. I don't care who you are. There's no charm in this thing. There's charm in this thing next door, right? There's a lot of cute little bungalows around, little Key West flair. So everyone does what they can do. Now, keep going here, because I'm going to take you to this house under construction. And my friend Rick is doing this one. Right now, I want you to notice just a couple different things. Look at the height that these guys are at, just standing at that first level. Now, let's get out here for a second, just walk. So, all right, so how you guys doing? So look at the differences here. So if you look at this house next door, it's lower. The first grading up area right into the garage on this one is up a few more feet, right? So you could really tell it when you look on this side here. Look how high the stem wall is. What do I mean by stem wall? Come on over, we're gonna take a little walk. So you notice this from all the other projects that we're doing with all the condos. You watch the footings go in and the pilings. They drove the pilings down, way down. They put the rebar, poured the concrete, poured the steel, put the footers of the house that it's resting on here, and then these are the columns that will be going up. But look at the height here, right? That house there is down. This first level of the garage is way higher than even that house level right there. So when we do get a storm surge, which we will, we're in Florida on the water, guys, right? It's part of life, right? So when we do, they're wet, he's not. And then on top of that, FEMA requires it to go up another 14 feet, right? So this is going to be a huge garage. And then there's going to be the first level on top of that, then the second level on top of that. Then he's going to put a rooftop deck up there so he can see the sandbar, so he can see the Johns Pass Bridge, so he can watch sunset, so he can see the whole thing around the whole area. He's got his boats right behind the house. It's a perfect type of a lifestyle. So what you're starting to see a lot of is this. This house just looked like this house, right? Until a couple months ago when he lived here and he got tired of the threats of storms. And he said, you know what? I want a more peaceful life. I've got money. I worked my ass off. I'm retired. I got the cash. My house is free and clear. I'm going to rip it down. I'm going to build a brand new one. And so he was able to use that land value from what he has here, which is about $1 million for a piece of dirt, right? And then he threw that into the construction loan to build himself a beautiful, nice, final, beautiful home that's elevated up, then elevated up, then elevated up, then elevated up. So you're going to start to see a lot of this happening in town. And you can argue, you know, cuteness, quaintness, gone. I disagree. Go rewind this video and look at what's not cute and quaint. And that's what's going to, now there are a lot of cute quaints around. And I agree with you. And a lot of those are going to stay because people will want to do it. But more and more and more, you're seeing this happen right here. So I just thought that was an interesting visual because we're about to do a very similar floor plan here, different look than what Rick's building here because I helped him get all hooked up on this property here. So we're kind of modifying his plan slightly, but the fronts and the exteriors will look completely different on what we're doing. And it's just going to change the face of this whole neighborhood. And it's more geared towards what the actual buyers really want in today's market. So I thought that's pretty interesting for you guys to see the differences on what's happening out here. And just for fun, we'll kind of bring you through the process on this one because it's a little bit ahead of the one we're about to start next door. And so that one will be down, ripped down. And then I like this. This is a great level, Taylor. Look at the difference from ground level, how we're going to slant up all the way up to that front garage. And the guy's up 2 feet, probably 3 feet higher than what it was before. And that alone is going to make a world of difference. And then he's got a full garage level on top of that, where his first level is. So no one's going to get wet on the threats of anything in the future. So stay tuned. Operation Rebuild is happening, guys. It's been happening for a little while. It's just starting to happen more and more and more and more and more. As you know, we had a stressful storm season, right? Which fortunately, knock on whatever wood, right, is we haven't ever had direct hits here in Tampa Bay. Matter of time, right? It is what it is. And but maybe we have those Indian forces working for ourselves. We're happy with that too. But it is what it is. So smartness is happening, is prevailing. And there's a lot of people that want to live here. I mean, look where we are. It's amazing. And it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. So this is just the reasons why. And there's a lot of reasons why on that. So there you go. That's a little teardown update. And you're going to start seeing a lot more of that. So reach out with any questions. I want to know your comments. I want to know the pros. I want to know the cons. I want to know what you guys think about some of the old coming down and the new coming up and pros and cons of that. And let's get some debates going on here. Leave a comment. Happy to respond back and talk to you guys soon. Thanks.